Good afternoon, Elizabeth Ide. I'm going to read you the story called Full House. It is an invitation to fractions. I know a lot of our second grade friends have been learning about fractions or currently would be learning about fractions. This is told by Dayle and Dodds. On the back side, it has a little preview, a little summary of what we'll be reading about. It says, Miss Bloom runs the Strawberry Inn, and she absolutely loves visitors. Throughout the day, she welcomes a cast of hilarious characters until all the rooms are taken. It's a full house, hence the title. But in the middle of the night, Miss Bloom realizes that something is just not right at her inn. Downstairs, the guests are eating her cake. One delicious cake divided by 5 hungry guests and one hospitable hostess equals a perfect midnight snack at the Strawberry Inn. So as I'm reading, there's going to be a lot of beautiful illustrated pictures, some funny drawings that you will see, and lots of different rhymes. So pay close attention, especially to the fractions of the cake. The Strawberry Inn was run by Miss Bloom. Happy was she to fill every room. With 1 for herself and 5 for the guests, there were 6 rooms in all for a cozy night's rest. The Strawberry Inn vacancy. So vacancy is, if it were to say vacant, that would mean that there was rooms there. Knock, 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 went the door. Ding dong, the bell rang. Welcome, welcome, Miss Bloom sang. Ah, a rest that be my wish, said Sea Captain Duffy, who smelled just like fish. So Sea Captain Duffy, all tired and done, followed Miss Bloom to room number 1. No, now one room of 6 had a guest for the night. To fill up the inn would be pure delight. And you'll notice that 1 out of 6 total rooms is full. So this is your fraction of 1/6, 1 over 6. Knock, knock, went the door. Ding dong, the bell rang. Welcome, welcome, Miss Bloom sang. Charmed, I'm sure, said the Duchess. Buffet, Smoochie and I are on holiday. Smoochie's her little dog. So the Duchess Buffet, in sapphires of blue, followed Miss Bloom to room number 2. Are you hearing some rhyming right now? As you're hearing that, think of what rhyming words did you hear? I heard rang, sang. What else did you hear? Listen to this. Now 2 rooms out of 6, so 2 rooms are going to be occupied. That means people are going to live there out of 6 total. So we'll find out our fraction in a moment. Now 2 rooms of 6 had guests for the night. To fill up the inn would be pure delight. So here's Mrs. Buffet. Our fraction is 2 rooms out of 6 total. So that is 2, 6, or 2 out of 6 rooms have been full. So how many more is there left? Think of that. So if you had all of the whole entire inn filled up, it would say 6 out of 6. All 6 rooms would be filled. So how many more rooms can she give away? Knock, knock, went the door. Ding dong, the bell rang. Welcome, welcome, Miss Bloom sang. Care for a hairbrush, a toothbrush, a comb, or maybe a vacuum, said salesman Jerome. Arms full of shoe polish, pots, pans, and tea, he followed Miss Bloom to room number 3. Now 3 rooms of 6 had guests for the night. To fill up the inn would be pure delight. Are you hearing the same things over and over again too, of her saying how it would be pure delight to have all the rooms be filled. So right now we have 3 out of 6. And we know that a doubles fact, to get to 6, 3 plus 3 is our doubles fact, would equal 6. So we are halfway there. 3 out of 6, or 3/6, is also known as 1/2. So 1/2 of the inn is filled. Knock, knock went the door. Ding dong, the bell rang. Welcome, welcome, Miss Bloom sang. In town from a show, Trainer P. Klein, said Trainer P. Klein. From smallest to largest, his dog stood in line. Then Trainer P. Klein and doggies galore danced down the hall to room number 4. Now 4 rooms of 6 had guests for the night. To fill the inn would be pure delight. So read that fraction to yourself. You have 4 and a line and then 6. So that's known as 4/6 or 4 out of 6. So 4 out of 6 rooms have been filled. Knock, knock went the door. Ding dong, the bell rang. Welcome, welcome, Miss Bloom sang. My biggest race ever, said Johnny Z Power. I hit 210 miles per hour. Carrying his trophy and pleased to arrive, he followed Miss Bloom to room number 5. 5 rooms of 6 had guests for the night, filling Miss Bloom with pure delight. The fraction is 5 out of 6. So remember, how many guests did I say at the beginning when I was talking about the summary could Miss Bloom have? Because remember, one of those rooms should be for her. So how many guests can she have? Is the inn practically filled up with her included? Think of 5 guests plus Mrs. Bloom would equal 6. So think about that. Then into the kitchen Miss Bloom went to make a scrumptious dinner for all to partake. There were chicken and peas, potatoes au gratin, but the very best part Miss Bloom had forgotten. Looks like a Thanksgiving spread that they're having. A strawberry cake with whipped cream piled high still sat on the counter when the last dish was dry. Look at that strawberry cake piled high with whipped cream. What's your favorite kind of cake? Think about that and share with someone next to you or a family member what's your favorite kind of cake. And if you don't like cake, like Mrs. Fletcher does not, what type of other dessert do you really like? Tired and happy, they all went to bed. Miss Bloom in room 6. It's a full house, she said. 6 over 6 equals 1 whole. 1 whole inn is full because 6 rooms out of 6 rooms total are full. And we were right, Miss Bloom needed one of those rooms. The guests and Miss Bloom all called out, "Good night," plumped up each pillow and turned off each light. Make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen in the morning? What's going to happen with that scrumptious, yummy cake that doesn't seem like anybody's had? Is she going to keep that for the next meal, or does she have plans for it somewhere else? But then, in the dark, came shuffles and wiggles, whispers and muffles, scuffles and giggles. Shadows were tiptoeing down the long hall. But where were they going? Bathrobes and all. Make a I wonder question. Look at, even the dogs are going. Make a I wonder question. Where are they going? Who's going? What are they going to get? What was left over from dinner that they might be going to? Make a really good inference. That's using the clues in this story. Press your prior knowledge of why would people get out of bed at night? All the guests almost are getting out of bed. Why would they do that? Erp, slurp, yummy yum. Suddenly Miss Bloom sat up in bed. "Something's not right at my inn," she said. She rushed to the kitchen and turned on the light. There she saw an astonishing sight. What do you think she saw? Why was she woken up out of bed? And why is something wrong at her inn? 5 out of 6, and the dogs and the cat stood covered in cake from toe to top hat. "Well," said Miss Bloom, "and tiddly-dee, thank you for saving the last piece for me." So if you notice, we have one whole cake again, and look at how many pieces was it divided into? 6 pieces. 6 is our bottom number. We have 6 total pieces, and everyone got 1/6 worth of a piece of pie, or a piece of cake, and so did Miss Bloom. And that is the end of the story. So hopefully in this story you learned about the full house, the inn. You learned that there could be 6 people in the whole entire inn, which made the whole inn. You learned that vacancy means that there is space. Okay, that means that's not occupied, meaning nobody's there, so new good vocabulary word if you didn't already know that. And you also learned about the different pie pieces and how pies are divided into sections. So either tonight or over your time off of school while you're doing some remote learning, I want you to think about what other things in your house are divided into fractions. I know my husband and I, when we have pizza at night, even if it's just a frozen pizza, we tend to put it into 8 slices. So if there's 2 of us, what would be half of the pizza? And if we only ate 2 slices each, how much of the pizza would be left? So see, think of the fractions. Your bottom number is going to be out of 8 because we would divide our pizza into 8 equal servings. So think of for 2 people, how many pieces would that be each if you ate the whole pizza? If I was eating with my parents, that would be 4 people. So how many pieces of pizza would each of those people get? We would still only divide it into 8. So obviously it would be smaller portions. Just me and my husband would be more. So think about portions, think about different fractions that you can see, even when you're doing worksheets and things, like how many addition problems do you have? How many addition problems, subtraction problems do you have? And how many problems total? And think of fractions in that way too. All right, friends, hope you enjoyed and follow up with your fractions.